The best 3 ways to take more listings right now. Mail is our topic today. We have a very special guest, someone who hasn't been on in a while. Unfortunately, haven't been able to wrangle him up all summer, but he even put together an actual somewhat of a presentation for us all today.
Fancy.
So we're going to walk through that. And I promised 3, but I think we're actually going to share 4. And we got one that was shared with me that this is just a little bonus breadcrumb that I'll throw out there. If you hang on until after Ryan's done sharing, we'll share Andrew Robinson's just sold postcard that he shared with me literally minutes before going live here.
I'm going to share it right now.
Oh, look at that. What a fancy schmancy.
I got it in the mail yesterday, Andrew.
Beautiful.
I noticed it in the mail.
So we've got a lot to cover today and excited to do. Before we get into that, I want to share just a good reminder. If you're talking to people about real estate, make sure you ask them if they have any other real estate related needs or know anyone that do. And here's why. I have 2 very practical examples, very recent. So I was doing some outbound marketing, and through those conversations, one client I picked up, we were talking about this vacant parcel of land and listing that. And so he was impressed with me and tells me, I have this 2-unit over on the other side of Central PA that I want to sell that too. I was talking with this other realtor. She doesn't seem that great. You seem like you're pretty good. I think I want to work with you on it. So that 1 turned into 2 just by demonstrating. I didn't even ask, honestly. He just brought it up, but it reminded me, like, you should always ask, what else you got to sell, or what other needs do you have, or who do you know that's thinking about selling? Another one, parcel of land, guy named Butch, talking with him, going back and forth. I want to sell mine and my sister. We inherited these properties. It was one big parcel. They split it equally, perfectly in half, gave me half of it, gave her half of it. She'd like to sell it too. So 2 there. I go and get the listing documents from him yesterday because he's a little older, a bit of a mountain man. I'm not signing these things electronically. You have to come meet me in person. All right, Butch, I'll come meet you in person. And at the end, he's like, hey, look here, let me give you an address of this other property I own. Look that up and let me know what you think you can get for that one for me. So 1 conversation's now potentially 3 transactions. And I'm sharing that. I didn't even do a good job of actually asking, but because I was doing a good job with them, they just brought it up on their own. Do as I say, not as I do. Like, actually ask the question. And I probably, here's what it reminded me. I probably have missed a lot of opportunities through the conversations that I've had recently by not specifically asking it. And what I found is when I share stuff like that here, I'm also more likely to do it myself. So ask. You never know. If they're not interested, who do they know? Who do they know? And I do that with every email or text message. So if I say, hey, would you be open to an offer on your property at 123 Main Street? And they're just like, no. My reply is always, got it. Thanks, James. If or when anything changes, or if you hear anyone in the area talking about selling, will you please let me know? And most of the time, I get a, sure, will do. Thanks, whatever. And you're just planting seeds every time. Okay, that was 1 housekeeping item. Number 2, I know we have a growing number of people in here, but I don't do a good enough job of reminding folks. We have this cool free school community that you can all go and join at the link in the chat. I will put the link in the chat. And if you're watching in the Facebook group, the Wake Up Real Estate Facebook group, number 1, do us a huge favor, hit the like button on this video. And number 2, I will get the link to the school community added in the comments section there as well. But join the community and check out the classroom section. All of these Wednesday replays are added here. And even the ones that YouTube bans or takes down. Specifically, one in particular that I thought was really good is the one from July 9th. Check that one out. I've generated a ton of business in the last 2 months following the process outlined here. So check those out, join that. And I forget who this was last week or the week before said, hey, there's nothing in the leverage section. I added a couple of things. in the leverage section. So that was a good call out by whoever that was a couple of weeks ago. All right, now to the topic at hand. We have a very special guest. His name is Ryan Hartman. Ryan and I have known each other for years and years. He is the co-founder of Thanks.io, among other wonderful things. He's also, I don't know what his fancy pants title is at Inside Real Estate, but it's something marketing related because he's really good at that kind of stuff. And the topic today is the 3 best ways to take more listings right now with direct mail. And this isn't theory. This is him sharing the stuff that I'm doing and that other people are doing. Brett Furman in more south central or southeastern PA area. Point is, this isn't stuff that he just made up. This is us sharing what we're doing and what is creating more conversations and more opportunities. And quite honestly, I've shared most of this over the last few months or certainly throughout the year, but just we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught, right? Sometimes we just need a reminder of what's working and yeah, to encourage that, A, this is still working, and B, you should probably do it yourself as well. Andrew, thanks for dropping that link in the chat. I got too chatty and didn't drop it there. Without further ado, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Jeff. Before I get started, do you know anybody else who might allow me to come on a webinar and shamelessly plug my wares?
I'll have to think about it. I got a couple ideas.
The 3 best ways to get more listings with direct mail right now. This is the fancy presentation. I'm a fan of just the straight up doc, Josh, instead of a bunch of slides.
I like it better than slides. Let's be honest.
Just quick.
More tact.
This is what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to dive right in and just show you guys some of the things. Some of you guys may have seen these before, but just some of the things that are getting real world results with Thanks to Mail and with mail in general. I was talking to Andrew a week or 2 ago. He uses something else. I don't care what you use. You can implement this on a lot of different platforms. Point is just get mail into your funnels, into your flows, because the ROI and the ROAS on it can be really good. All right. So first one, let's just take a look, Josh. I'm going to just go into your account, click these links, and we'll give everybody the doc after they can click these templated links, and it'll pull it up in their queue.
I'm going to use this as a way to hack the algorithm. If you want this document, you're going to have to drop a comment. Actually, I'm going to do one better. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, I would like you to like, share, and drop a comment, and I will happily share the document with you. Otherwise, you can shoot me a DM or text me or email me, and I'll be happy to share the document.
Yeah, and just give me 1 second, guys. I accidentally logged into Brett's account to grab an example, but I want to be in your account, Josh. So just give me 1 second. Okay. So yeah, if you click the templates, they'll take you straight in. Let's just start by looking at our 6x9 AI newsletter card. Click on the 6x9. And Josh, I can't remember if we shared this with everybody here. I think about a month or 2 ago, you and I started riffing back and forth on this. And
I shared this about a month ago on the topic was 5 surefire set it and forget it ways to sell more houses or something like that. And I just, of what Ryan is sharing, this one, let me put it this way. If you're serious about this business, you have to do something like this. It's insurance against the people that know and trust you already. It's insurance against them working with someone else because they forgot that you can help them.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
This is like the AI newsletter postcard. And I think a lot of people in the industry are really big fans of sending newsletters, but Beanie teaches this, right? A lot of coaches send a long written letter every month. But the reality is the implementation of that can be cumbersome.
Definitely.
Stuffing envelopes or even using a platform like Bagship to come up with the content every month. You start to worry about design. I think a lot of us get hung up on things like this. What does it look like? The design, the paper texture, all this stuff. This is a postcard that is written with an AI prompt. You can see the ChatGPT thing showing up right here. It just says, write me a newsletter, less than 175 words. It sends to talk about current interest rates, macroeconomic housing conditions, and include a market update based on the city and state of the recipient. It's dynamically changing the content of the postcard every month. So can you say this pretty good, Josh? I know this stuff could.
Yeah, but I want to double tap on something there. So, for example, the list of people that I'm sending this postcard to, the people that have an Enola, ENOLA, not Ebola, Enola address, which is where I live, what they get is different than the people that live in Mechanicsburg versus Camp Hill versus Carlisle versus Harrisburg, because I have all these little towns and cities around here. And so it is dynamically relevant to them based upon where they are receiving the mail at. That's what makes this so cool and unique. And it's also dynamic every month. It's dynamically changing each and every month.
Yeah. So I just popped York, PA in there where I am. You and I are pretty close. It might be the same, but it might vary from county to county. And basically what the AI is doing, AI things, it's going out there and just spouting what it thinks it knows. As we move through September, mortgage interest rates remain stable, presenting potential opportunities for buyers. But our housing market is some cooling. This is accurate, right? To fluctuating economic conditions, demand stays all steady. So this prop basically tells it to do these things. At the end, it tells it to give a rational reason why they might consider selling. So considering a strong demand in current conditions, September might be an optimal time to list 123 Main Street. The seasonal market activity and current interest rates could attract serious buyers and potentially secure a favorable price. Having an awesome month with September, Josh. And then the PS is basically the link over to iList or to your white label of iList, Josh.
Yep.
The content of this, I would argue, Josh, is good, but it's probably less important than the fact that this can just go out and be unique every month on autopilot.
It's the consistency of them receiving something from you in the mail that stands out when they receive it. For those of you wondering, I have one that I received myself, right? I send it to myself. For whatever reason, my neighborhood, we don't have Google Street View, so mine is the map view of my house. The QR code is front and center, and the back is specific for, this one is the August newsletter because I got it in August. And it mentions August several times. It has relevant data and information, a cool summer festival that was on August 15th. I received this in time to go for that. I can't remember when it was, but I got this early August. So really cool and relevant to the recipient.
And I will mention, you guys can change this example that I showed you didn't have an event in it, but you can just change what the prompt says. And I'm sure you'll come up with some good ideas. I have one that is an investing tip. Give a random real estate investing tip. And then a call to action. If you are thinking about buying an investment property, here's why now might be a good time. So it doesn't necessarily need to be about the home value. You can come in and edit the template once a month if you want to change it up. But really, the cool part is within the thanks system, you can just connect this to a list of recipients and say, just send it once a month. And it could be once every other month. And just on autopilot, you're staying top of mind.
So here's how I have mine set up. I have a list, a mailing list in here. I have a campaign that says, I want the people on this list to get this postcard 12 times a year, once a month. That's the way I have it set up. And then the only thing I have to worry about is updating the list, the mailing list. If there are people that I should take off, someone did something so offensive that I don't want them to get my direct mail or whatever, and adding people. So this is so good that I'll give you a very specific example. I got a lead over the weekend, or maybe it was late last week. I don't remember. It's all running together for me. It is, he had requested an offer for his property. I called the guy. He was busy, a little standoffish, but we had a good conversation. He owns a bunch of real estate. He's been a developer or whatever. We had a good enough conversation that I sent him a thank you card, and I added him to this list because that's someone that I want to stay top of mind with. And I don't want to hassle him with like direct offers, but I want to keep planting the seeds that when he's ready, because what he told me is, I don't know, he has 17 different parcels, and when he's ready, he just wants to sell everything. Just sell everything. Yeah, I would like that opportunity. So if I'm the one that's constantly reminding him, I can help.
For about $10 a year if you're doing monthly.
Yeah.
Just to stay in touch with that particular guy.
A month. It's a buck. Just figure $1 a month, basically.
So this particular card, Brett sent out to he sent it to his list of all scanners, the people who have scanned in the last year. So it is a responsive list.
Sure.
But I'm just pulling up the numbers. I think it was 443. I'll have it here in a second.
It was less than 300 sent and north of 40 QR scans is what I remember. It was like 49 scans from 267.
Pretty close, Josh. 47 of 263.
Yeah, no.
That was just the first month. That's insane engagement. And remember, the scan is just going into the iList, check your home value. So you're being notified by things.io, but they're also engaging with the home value of their house. They're like touching and feeling you and they're touching your card. They're really engaging with you. And then they're landing on a website where you're providing really good stuff.
Yep.
All right. So that's probably my favorite right now. Josh, is probably yours too, right?
That's the one that, again, in my opinion, if you're serious about this business, you all should be doing it. Whether it's you're sending that to 25 people or 250 people, you all should be doing it with some amount of people.
It's a 5-minute setup. And the Thanks IO team will do it for you. You just say,
yep. All you need to do is have your list. If you have your list, the rest is a piece of cake to set up.
Ryan, Andrew put a question in the chat there, and Kathy just went into.
Thank you.
Oh, I was on a personal one. Okay. Oh, look at that. Kathy, I just sent out my first campaign. I sent 95 and got 11 scans. What does that mean? Does that mean that Kathy is going to take 11 listings or now has 11 clients? No, but she has 11 people that got something tangible in the mail from her and took the time to scan the QR code. Those are people that Kathy should invest more time into reaching out to and finding out, hey, what did you think of the postcard and what had you interested enough to scan the QR code? And then just let them talk.
So I want to share just on that front, the 11 scans. I didn't know this was going on, but one of our biggest real estate users, his name's Joe Speakman. I don't know if you guys know him. He's in the Columbus area, I think. I learned today that he's actually been taking a burlap bag or something. I have to get more details, but he's dropping something physical off at the door. He's not even knocking on the door or anything, but he's going to every scanner or having an assistant do that.
I want to see this now.
I'll find out more. But apparently he's getting half his listings from that process. And he's a listing agent. He's got inventory.
If you don't want to do a burlap bag, here's a way that you could stand out with these folks. You send them a personal video message. Hey, this is Kathy. Hey, James, this is Kathy. I saw you got my postcard and you scanned the QR code. I'm just curious what you thought of the card and what had you curious enough to scan the QR code. That's it. Like you're making that impression with them. Andrew asked, the text is regular print versus handwriting. Can you get more text on the page that way?
That's why we're doing it. I find it to be a little easier to read on the postcard when we're trying to smush a whole bunch in there.
If it's a lot of text, I'm always doing the regular text versus the handwriting. And maybe this is just me getting old. Like I just find writing in general, I'm just saying in general, if I have to work harder to read what it is, I'm like, I got enough to do. You know what I mean? I just want it to be as easy as possible. And I'm not saying that the handwriting fonts, whether it's with thanks or otherwise, don't have value and merit in certain use cases. But for this, I think just the regular text.
But I will mention, I'm adding, it didn't work. That's the other thing. Sometimes our realism mode, our handwriting gets confused when I try to add the crossouts. So that's the other reason for the print. Sometimes it just works smoother.
Yeah.
Okay. So losing our train of thought here.
Let's get back on track.
So the second example is the golden note card mail then text flow. And I don't know if you guys have seen me. I've been running Facebook ads like crazy about this. I just love this process for cold lead acquisition. So the way to think about this is option one, AI newsletter postcard, convert more of the leads you already have, stay top of mind. That's the easier money. The more you're going to get better ROI on that in the short term, I think. If you're looking to generate fresh listings and use mail as a prospecting tool, I really like this flow. It goes something like this. It's a note card with a folded panel, and it's the golden letter scripting, which I think everybody who's pretty familiar with, right?
Yep.
The idea where you just ask a simple open-ended question. Hi, John, would you consider selling your house at 123 Main Street to a client of mine if they offer the right price and terms? If yes, please call or text. You can vary this. I still want to try, Josh. Hi, John, I have a question about 123 Main Street. Please call or text. Just the straight curiosity play.
So regardless of what the message is, for me, what's most important about this example is the audience you're sending it to. If you just blanket a neighborhood, you're going to be frustrated. You might still win. And if you do enough volume, you will win, meaning like you'll get opportunities. But the case studies that we've done, the use cases that Ryan and I have played around with, is a very specific, strategically targeted list. And you could use Thanks and their AI algorithmic data, or you could build your own audience with something like PropStream, which I talk about a lot. We had Burton on a couple of weeks ago, and you can use their layered filtering to find the motivated sellers. And if you want, one thing I've been meaning to do, this is a side note, I'm going to make like my top 5 favorite filter selections with PropStream for those of you that are going after motivated or distressed sellers, that this would then be a great way to get the attention of those folks and create listing opportunities or buying opportunities if you're buying yourself, or have investors that'll buy off market, fix it up, and then list it with you when it's all ready to go.
Yep. I think this could work really well too with expireds and FSBOs, just slightly different scripting. Hi, John. Are you still thinking about selling 123 Main Street? If yes, please give me a call. And absentees. I haven't had a chance to test this particular flow with absentees, but I have a hunch based on other absentee campaigns that this could work well.
So let me give you filters, and I'm going to do a standalone for this. Here, this absentee bucket, if you go absentee, out of state, tired, which means they've owned it for 10 or more years, and equity, that is a banging list.
This card goes out. It goes out on a staggered send would be my advice for this mailed in text process. So what we mean by staggered send or even flow in the thanks system is we're saying, hey, here's a list of a couple hundred people, and let's just set the math so that 2 or 3 of these go out every day. So Josh, here's just an example from Brett's account. You see this one where it's just 2, 2, 2, 2.
Yep.
He's spending $3.58 a day, Brett, to send this to homeowners in Villanova, $1.5 million plus or something like that. Really high. And he's already had one. He hasn't had a scan. It's only been like 10, 15 days. He hasn't had a scan yet, but he already had an email conversation with a guy who said he liked his market. So let's get to that part. So these are going out on a staggered send in Thanks.io. It's just a setting. We showed you Josh before, and you just come in and say sending style, even flow staggered sending, and we can help you set that up. Does everybody have $4 a day to hit up $1 million homeowners?
No, Andrew does.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you got a 1% response rate or even a 0.5% response rate, would the math work? Is what you start to think about. And usually it does in real estate. So these are going out on a staggered send basis. But the real important thing I want to share is Thanks.io's webhook on delivery functionality is the secret sauce. And what that is that we are sending
in English, please.
It gets delivered. Some geeky stuff happens and a trigger is sent to your CRM, and a follow-up email and a follow-up text can go out. And the script for that is very simple. Hi, John, just following up to see if you received the note card I got about 123 Main Street, or some variation of that. Just checking to see if you got the note card. Now, what we're seeing, I do this a lot for Thanks.io itself. And the reason I knew it would work is because I get so many responses to that. Hey, did you get our samples? What you get a lot of is what note card, what postcard, because people leave like I do. They leave their mail sitting in the mailbox, or so what postcard, what note card. You get some, no, I didn't see it yet. You get some, yeah, I got it. I'm not selling, stuff like that. But it's a much cooler icebreaker, I think, than a cold call.
Here's a different use case, but a similar example. My monthly home value update email that I send, that the only goal of that is to get people to click over to their dashboard through my iList Enterprise setup. So I send an email and I just want them to engage with it. I just want to get people. We send a bump text, same idea. Hey, we just emailed you updated info on the value of street address. Did you get it? Same idea. And what we get is a lot of people will say, no, I didn't get it. I didn't see it, or whatever. But at least it's engaging, and then you can affirm what it was. You can get better data. That's what happens with us. So many times I'll say, we sent it to this email. Is this the best one? And they're like, no, actually send it here. So you get better data from people. And like
Conversations.
Yes.
You're in conversations.
It's actually like you actually caring to enough to make sure that they got it, right? So if you're working on a transaction and you send a document related to a transaction, you're not just going to email the document and hope it gets through. You're going to email it, and you're going to call or text or send a separate email even to say, hey, I sent you the doc needed. Did you get it? Right? So it's just like you're going the extra mile.
This works, Josh. This works really well with older people, downsizers, seniors. There's definitely a higher response rate. I don't have, what do they call it? I don't have data. I have like,
Tuition and yeah.
What do they call that term? Man, I'm getting old. Now I want to come up with the fancy word. Let me get the fancy word for you in a minute. Anyway, this is a look at Zapier, and this is the item delivered trigger in Zapier. So if you're familiar with Zapier, guys, you basically just say when it's delivered. And just a tip, if you're going to set this up yourselves, I like to deliver it by a day or two, even 2 or 3 days, because the post office delivery signal isn't always very accurate. They're sending that back to us when it's sitting at the local post office, and it's like wishy-washy on when the postal carrier actually gets delivered from there. So I delay it a couple days.
You don't need to know how to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. It can be set up for you if you commit to doing it, right? Don't ask for help setting this stuff up if you're not going to actually commit to sending some real amount of volume and not give up after 20 note cards were sent and you didn't get a listing. And I'm just,
yeah, these are like $2 a piece, a little bit less. And I wouldn't send any less than a couple hundred to really get a baseline.
also, it wouldn't have to be a note card to do this. We're just talking about a general flow. You could send a postcard, you could send a letter, you could send a gift card, right? It doesn't matter what you're sending per se. It's just that this specific use case and example Ryan is referring to is a note card. The cool thing about the note cards is it looks and feels like a wedding invitation almost. So
my wife says I can't say that because they're not that quality. But
okay, but it doesn't look like typical junk mail. Let's say it that way. Like it generally speaking creates enough curiosity that someone would likely open it up.
Yeah, it gets open. We recently changed the ink to blue. We were doing black for years. Now the ink's going to be blue here coming up. So we're anticipating it'll just feel a little more.
You mean the ink on the outside of the? Got it. Yep.
It's a small thing, but we think it'll help. We have a good feeling that it'll help.
Yeah. Any lift to that is useful.
If you want to go really nuts, send a gift card and offer a $20 Starbucks gift card at the book a meeting to talk about the value of their house with our gift card bribe function.
Or $10.
And then Josh, for agent attraction, this seems like a flow that works.
Yeah. I want to get with you. That's something I need to execute on like sooner than later.
So, okay, mail then text. Again, the key ingredient here is don't just send the mail, follow up something automated. If you guys are using high level, bold trail, whatever you're using, really not too hard to set up. The geeks at Bank can do it for you if you're comfortable sharing your logins. We'll just wire it all up for you.
And that's not an insult. Ryan is one of the geeks, just so you know. He's not.
Or one of the geeks. It's funny. Justin's doing a lot of them now. He's even argue. He's even geek. All right. Third card. This is the tried and true. This may be the card that got 11 out of 90 scans for the person who commented. Sorry, I'm forgetting your name. But if all else fails, just send a postcard. Hi, John. If you're curious about what 123 Main Street might sell for today's market, scan the QR code now. Oh, Josh, there's a little extra there. I don't know if you added that or I did. Scan it. Please scan it. I put that there.
I don't. Yeah, it must have been you. I don't remember.
Fate cross.
But whatever. Yeah.
Okay. And then the image side of that is this. And with the picture of that homeowner's house in the background, I almost never see this get less than 5%. Almost never.
Think about it. If that shows up in your mailbox, most people are getting less and less direct mail. And then you get something in your mailbox that has your property on it, you're going to read it. And if you read it and you have any interest or curiosity whatsoever, you're going to scan the QR code. Scanning is just now, it's just normal, right? It's been normalized. One of the only positive things about COVID, if you're a marketer, anyway, a direct mail marketer.
Your whole listing acquisition plan could be send a whole bunch of these. Brett Furman sends them for every just listed, just sold property. We sold a house down the street. If you're curious about what your house might sell for, scan the card. Your whole game plan could be just get the scans, follow up on the scans, whatever
The
that
key
might
is the following up on the engagers, right? If you're expecting to send a bunch of mail and you just get people that call and say, come list my property, that can happen, but that's the outlier. It still requires work. You have to follow up and follow through with the people that are engaging with what you send. And again, like I get the calls, but that's not where the majority of the opportunity lies. It's in engaging with the scanners and finding out their motivation and timing and all of that. And genuinely, some of them are literally just curious, and that's okay too.
Yeah, so up on the screen, 270 recipients. This is Brett, pretty much just from sending his just listed, just sold cards. He sends about 100 every time he has a transaction. Doing this for maybe a year now. He's got 270 recipients on a very warm list. And every time a recipient gets added to this QR scan list, they are then sent that monthly newsletter automatically. This is all just happens automatically. Like I said, the first one that went out got 40 something scans, re-ins. So you can build, this is a follow-up funnel, but you can build with mail, complete back and forth funnel, and just layer in that mail and text, email and text follow-up, and you really be cooked.
Yep. The way, so an automation I have set up is if someone scans any direct mail that I send, it sends a signal to Bold Trail and a smart campaign fires off. It's just a catch-all. I don't have one set up on the mail delivery yet, but that'll be the next thing that I test. I might even do that. I might even do that with my SOI.
I really love this idea, dropping something off on the porch.
Okay, so a question from Nancy: is it okay to drop off a postcard and put it in their mailbox? Seems to me completely inefficient and also illegal. What I would do though is dropping something off for them. If you're going to go through the time, energy, and effort of actually dropping something, don't drop off a postcard, and make sure it's someone that had engaged or was. You have good reason to do.
A pre-listing package with some cookies, just to make a little extra impression or something. Yep. Or if you don't want to leave the office.
I don't know what Andrew's doing. I thought maybe it looked like it was, I don't know if we were going to get a dance, something or other, but now he's showing us other direct mail pieces. I love it. No, I should have pinned that or spotlight.
It's on camera. I gotta look.
Hey, Josh, what I've done in the past is gone to the post office or the FedEx office and got those FedEx envelopes and stuff something in there and just go put it on someone's porch.
Yeah, I used to have, I don't think I have any left, but I had, you could buy these, they're like red and yellow, and you can buy them on Amazon. They're not FedEx or UPS or whatever, but they have the look and feel of that. And that is a wonderful way. You can't not open it. Also, a burlap bag. I don't know what this guy Sneakman's doing, but the burlap bag thing. Oh, a bank bag?
Maybe it was the bank bag or something. You're just holding up there.
This is a zippered bank bag that I bought like 100 at a time. So you could put something in it and drop it off. You can even mail this if you want to mail this.
These are what I was talking about. You can get these on Amazon, and you can mail these also, or you just drop them off on their front porch. That's another great. But again, I would only do that. Don't blanket people with that. That's with people that you have good reason to do that, right? Like they got your postcard, they scanned it 3 times, and you can tell they're, I don't know, in pre-foreclosure, or that they have a real motivation of some sort.
Or you really want that listing.
Yes, 100%.
You have a reason, like you have a buyer for it, or you just love the idea of getting that listing.
Yep.
Andrew, I think you asked about the just listed, just sold card. Were you asking like if he's sending it for every listing? I'm trying to find one.
No, what I was saying is you said he's sending 100 just listed, just sold. But my question is he doing the special Google Street View version, or is he using the just listed, just sold platform to do that?
No, he's using the native Thanks.io, not the platform. And he's saying, great news, we just sold address, but he's putting the picture of the recipient's house on the card as the pattern interrupt.
He's putting so I get the postcard, it's my house on it, but it says, we just sold your neighbor's house at whatever, 123 Main Street. So you're still doing the pattern interrupt in that it's their house on there, which means they're more likely to read it. Then you can tell a little bit of a story and potentially get them engaging. What I've done on the back with those is as concisely as possible, tell the story. We just sold your neighbor's property at blank address. We had X number of views. We had Y number of showings. We had Z number of offers. And we sold over asking, whatever that is. And that would be if there was compelling, etc. And then P.S. we still have X amount of buyers who might be interested in the neighborhood. Who do you know that might be open to selling or open to an offer, something like that?
Yeah, here. Yeah. But basically build your opt-in list of people mailing, follow with that market update postcard. And then for cold listing acquisition, you have that golden letter, no car. It could be a letter or no car or a postcard.
Ron says, where does the scan go on just listed, just sold? You determine where any scan goes. It's whatever you want it to go to. So it could be their iList dashboard. It could be, you could send them to a video, a YouTube link of you telling the story of the property. Hey, we just sold your neighbor's house, whatever. This was the activity that we had on it. This was the feedback we got. And we still have 13 people looking to buy a home in the neighborhood. Who do you know? You can do whatever you want. On some pieces, like I'm trying to think of a use case. Some of the direct mail I'll send them to my contact card. So if you go to joshvips.com, it's just me, and like they can schedule a time, they can call me, they can go to my social media or whatever, but usually I'm sending them to something relevant to them. In other words, their iList dashboard where it's got four unique automated values, and then offer options that they can explore if you want. Giselle, do you have an SOP for this process? Which process? Because we've covered essentially 4 use cases, right? We have the sphere of influence and past client, the AI newsletter. We have the mail then text for cold listing acquisition. We have, Ryan, did we even get into, I don't think you did the one that I mentioned too, or that I mentioned to you before. I don't think we even mentioned, if you're generating leads on Facebook or Instagram, whether it's paid or free, you can also build an automation where every lead that comes, thanks will check their email address, and where applicable, what's the current data that
it's about 60% solid.
So approximately 60% of the time, thanks will be able to append a mailing address based upon the person's email. And so you can take an internet lead and turn them into a direct mail lead. And so
works great for downsizing ads. So thinking about selling your current house and moving into a smaller home with first floor main, because you're talking to somebody who already owns a home, you can't get the address on Facebook because of their discrimination rules. Like you can't collect the street address in a lead form.
Yeah.
You push the lead form straight into thanks. We find the address, and then you start sending one of these cards.
I have found that it also works great on coming soon, just listed, just sold, because it's neighbors who oftentimes are curious. They own a home and they're curious because it has some impact on the value of their home. And you can do just about any. There's tons of other use cases for that, but that's a great way. And also think about this. Let's face it. The people that are opting in on that type of ad are not, in most markets, they're not just opting into yours. They're opting in on Zillow and whatever. But how many companies are sending them direct mail as part of their follow-up? The answer in almost every case is 0.
That's why we're called thanks. It's because we were thanking leads.
Yeah.
That was the initial concept.
Yep. Another
thing on that, guys, if you have old unconverted leads or just your sphere of influence, but you only have email addresses, you can upload those today and start sending the newsletter card. So just send us the CSV file and we'll match them for you.
Yeah. Giselle is feeling a little bit of overwhelm. So here's what I would recommend for you. Now, I'm being serious because this is anything like this, right? Start with the first one, the AI newsletter postcard. Even if you're just sending it to 20 people, start there and then figure out what's next. Do I have a database of unconverted leads? Should I see how I can get those matched up? And I would start with the active ones. Like Giselle, I think you're using Bold Trail. Like you could look at, okay, I've got 250 active leads that aren't in my SOI or past client, whatever. Let me see if I can match those up and uncover opportunity there.
Go the last 3 months, 6 months or something. If you're getting overwhelmed too, maybe it's the technical side of all this. We're to the point at Banks.io. you're welcome to do all this yourself, but we'll mostly just do it for you. So you just tell us which of these ideas you like, what your budget is, and we'll put it together.
Let's see here. Ron says, thank you. I love the video idea. I haven't done that enough, honestly, where the scan goes to the video.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, especially when I most often use video in that form when I'm sending something specifically to James or Ryan or Andrew. But the same principle holds in that if you're sending a just listed and you're telling the story of a home in the neighborhood, that's still very relevant and congruent to the people receiving it. And you telling the story of that, I think it makes a longer lasting impression than just sending them to whatever, the just sold page on listings to leads or their home value dashboard. You're making more of an impression with them.
Is anybody here working heavily with investors? I have a hunch that if you were like, hey, scan the QR code to learn about the 3 best deals I know about right now, and it was a video of you talking about the current 3 best properties or deals, that's as soon as scan as you pretty much got unlocked, right? If you can demonstrate expertise in the video.
Yeah, and Shay is working. I am working more and more with investors as well. In fact, I had two text me while we were on here asking about a deal I had posted in a couple of Facebook groups.
I think it's a more intriguing call to action and check your own value because it's still wealth related because it's real estate investing, but you're going to get their personal residence if you work with them.
Andrew says, I recommend a vertical format for video response. I think, Andrew, what you're saying is if you're sending people from a QR code to a video, make it a vertical video. And the relevance there is they're looking at it on their phone, which is a vertical orientation. I think that makes a ton of sense. So what I was thinking in my brain was a Loom video with a webcam and the property, but better would be you standing in front of the property with your phone held vertically, telling the story about their neighbor's home, which is directly behind. That will immediately connect with the recipient, given that like it's a home in their neighborhood behind. Or you could also do the same thing, but do it in front of if you have a marquee sign at the front of your subdivision, your community, that could work really well as well. You want them to immediately like recognize and identify that as relevant to them. Can we send the monthly AI newsletter to cold leads? You can send them to whoever you want. I just think that the best use case is people that already know and trust.
Who was that?
Elon.
All right. Get your free Thanks.io account. We're going to send 100 free.
There you
I
go.
want to see what happens.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll
I think you're better off sending a golden letter type of message, but you never know unless
I
you
just want to
test.
see what happens.
Yeah.
So if you create your account and do the branding builder steps, so your branding's on there, and just tell me what zip code, you can chat it and support it. Thanks. And
go create your account at growwithjosh.com/thanks. I've done a terrible job of pitching that on here. That is my affiliate code, and I very much appreciate the money that they send to me via PayPal every first of the month. It helps me reinvest into giving away as much as I can on these sessions.
You spend it all with us anyway, so we don't.
Yeah, I mean that and a great deal more. I just got somebody that replied to a text message, an auto text message, wanting 850,000 cash. Let's go. All right. Any other questions or anything related to direct mail or otherwise?
Just email Ryan at Thanks.io, that particular person, about the 100 free cards, so we don't confuse my team. I'll just send them up for you.
Yeah, Elon Dorsey. Dorsey.
Thank you.
I am dropping the doc in the chat. If you're still live with us here, I'm dropping that in the chat. For some reason, I couldn't paste it over to the... oh, no, I did get it pasted over. No, I didn't. I got the school community pasted over to the live stream. If you're watching this after the fact, just do me a huge favor. Share with somebody else in the biz, and drop a comment if you would like the doc with the referenced examples and use cases, etc., that Ryan had set up here. And if you want help on the strategy side, Ryan and the quote-unquote geeks over at Thanks can help on the execution. But if you want some help on the strategy side, meaning I want to do the golden note card, the golden letter note card, but I don't know what audience to send it to, that's the kind of stuff that I geek out on, and we could get together on a Zoom and figure out who might be the best audience I can help you build a targeted list in a specific zip code or city or even a county that, in theory, would be more likely to be open to selling than just generally blanketing a neighborhood, etc. Jan, I did drop that in the comments on the live stream in Facebook. I literally just did that.
Josh, can I
And
ask?
I'll drop it directly to you.
question?
David, yes, please.
Ryan, what time is it that ThinkStyle has its help session open? Is it? I think it's daily. Is that right?
Yeah, we were doing that. We have less staff and people weren't showing up. We have the link there where you can just hop on and schedule a Zoom
Okay.
Calendly.
Okay, cool.
Where do people find that on the site?
It's just in there. Here, let me go in there. It's over on the left side. It should say automation concierge or something like that. Calendly.com/things.io, and you can just pick one of these.
Josh, what was Andrew showing at the beginning of today's session?
That's a good question. Hold on. Let me pin Andrew.
Oh yeah, you mentioned his open house card too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he's holding it.
Andrew, go ahead and show that again. What was it you were? So that's a postcard? You're muted, Andrew. Andrew, you're muted. Andrew obviously can't hear us either. You're muted.
So
there we go.
The front of it is a just sold. So this is a 1.6 million house just sold. So that's the social proof. But then it went out to 1,000 households, and it basically says, we just sold your neighbor's house, but we have 2 more buyers in the neighborhood. If you've been thinking about selling, they're pre-qualified and they're willing to buy as is, where it is, so you can possibly sell without doing any updates. So this is going out EDDM. This is 24 cents postage, but it's probably about 30 cents printing. So for 54 cents, for $540, I'm going to hit 1,000 households with a very strong call to action.
That EDDM process, it'd be cool if you ever did, because I don't even know how to do that. You just go to the post office and ask them.
Is it still click to mail that does it?
No, I actually work with a local printer, so they're only about 8 minutes from my house. But what I do is I design the postcard on Canva, and I can share a Canva template with the community here, or I can push it on your school community, whatever we want to do with that. But then you go to EDDM on the U.S. Post Office and you drop in the address. Let's say if you want to mail it around your house, Josh, you put your physical address in, and then it gives you an interactive map. So you click on, and it'll tell you that there's 620 households or 420 households. You select that, and then you tell the printer you want to print 640 postcards, and they will deliver it to the post office. But what they have to do, what you don't want to do, is they have to bundle those in 100-unit bundles. So that's why you want to pay someone to do this, and you don't want to do it yourself.
A great, like Andrew's use case is a great one for that. It won't work. You won't be able to do it with some of the principles that we've found that get the highest response, which is if you want to be able to send a postcard that has their property on it and have a what used to be called a PURL, a personalized URL. So it's just a matter of what's the objective, and is this going to make sense, and is that going to make sense? And if you're going to do EDDM, you definitely want an easy button like a local printer that has all of that figured out. If you think sending direct mail with thanks is hard, try to figure out how to send your own EDDM, like printing, etc. Right? Yeah, go find a print shop, a Going Postal or something like that in your area to help with the execution piece of that. That will not be time well spent for yourself. Great share. Thank you, Andrew. Any other questions from the audience anywhere?
I have one, Josh.
Yeah.
Who else do you know who might need to send?
Who else do you that might need to send direct mail, that might want Ryan Hartman as a guest on their? I got some ideas. I'll hit you up.
I actually really appreciate it. That's it. It was worth the price of admission, because I always forget that trick.
What?
Bill, who else do you know thing?
Oh, well,
You said that at the beginning.
yeah, and I didn't even. Oh man,
Weren't
I'm
connected.
dense. I am dense sometimes. All right, here's my tease for next week, because I got to wrap up. I got to go meet with a seller at 12:30 Eastern.
Nice.
He wants to sell yesterday, so I'm taking a contract with me. We're doing this thing today. Next week, I will be sharing an app that I have been collaborating on with one of my buddies. It's an easy button for the process that I shared on July 9th that I pointed back to. Because if you watch that, I'm like, click here, then here, and then you skip trace, and then you export, and then you clean it here, and then you run this AI, and then you upload it here, and blah, 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 ding. And then all of a sudden, we're sending text messages and emails. But it took 14 steps and 5 different platforms to get to that point. So I was talking with my buddy a couple of weeks ago, and I think I can make that an app where James goes and he creates an account and he says, I want tired landlords who are out of state in this zip code, and you can literally from your phone, we're calling it swipe for leads. It's like Tinder for motivated sellers. I don't even know I know theoretically what Tinder is, but I have no idea other than I know you swipe left or swipe right.
Did
So
you say Tinder for agent attraction?
oh, I like that.
Getting the guys like left.
Yeah. Anyway, so we should be ready to share that next week. And for those of you that follow me, I may be sharing it sooner than that. We may have the beta version of it ready before next Wednesday. So you can stay tuned to my channel or whatever. I'll let you know on that. But certainly by next Wednesday, we'll be ready to have some beta testers, and we're making it fun and gamifying it. We're adding in some cool ways to reward consistency and persistence. And look, that's what it takes if you want to sell more houses. You got to be consistent and persistent. It's just the reality. There's no getting around it. Ryan, thank you so much. One last time, if you'd like a copy of the document and you can't find it with the video, the replay, whatever, just drop a comment below. Please and share also, but drop a comment below or just shoot me a DM or call or text me or email me. I'm easy to find if you just Google me. But my contact info is anywhere and everywhere. And whether or not you use Thanks, which I would recommend and I do personally, you find ways to weave in direct mail, because the digital landscape is noisier than it ever has been, and yet the mailbox is not nearly as crowded and loud. And so you can stand out greatly by including that in your marketing plan. Great stuff. Andrew, thank you for sharing as well. And I'm looking forward to sharing next week. It should be fun. Have a great rest of the week, all, and let me know if there's any way we can help.